Hello, hey everyone, and welcome to the Melanin Gamers Podcast. This is the bonus level podcast because we've kind of finished the last podcast. But Deadpool 3, aka Deadpool versus the Wolverine, we've all gone to see it in cinema. I think that we have been waiting years for Wolverine to come back, and he came back in the best way. Because if you're like me, who loved Logan and thought that was the perfect send off, he didn't want Wolverine to come back because that was such a good send off. But I think the way they did it in this, let me say that there are spoilers. This is a spoiler. If you have not seen it, please click away right now because we are going to talk about everything. And I'm talking about like post-credit scenes. So there's that
spoiler warning.
This is a big time spoiler warning. I am here today with others who have also seen it. So it's a safe space here. Obsidian Fury.
What's going on, gang?
And OG Ataki.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Everyone's thoughts and opinions. We are fresh from seeing it. We literally went to go see it an hour ago. So our mind is like, I'm gonna go to you first, OG Ataki.
Okay. Guys. Now, my personal I'm gonna go straight to the point, my personal opinion on the movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that was just more Deadpool. And every time I see one of these movies, like, yeah, that's more Deadpool. And you know what? That's what we want, bro. Like, yeah. I've spoken to a few of my peeps, and I know that some people aren't completely happy with the movie, and I hear it. But I'm gonna explain why it's all right. Look, what Deadpool just tried to pull off, yeah. Let's real talk. Deadpool just put the whole Fox universe, on his back and drove them all to the MCU with him. Right? That's what he just done. And in a movie like this, where we're intertwining so many stories and legacy content, like Endgame, there's gonna be some holes. Like, you know, but it's fine because what Marvel do is they just fill those holes later. They always do it. And now it's airtight. Like, they'll just drop a show that'll fill in all the holes on like why this Logan's that Logan, and if Logan happened in 2099 or whatever, why is this movie happening in 2029 or whatever. I get you guys. Look, I know. But for the spectacle that it was great. I don't want to say too much because like if I start going deep into it, you guys might not have anything to talk about. Let's start with this. Yeah, there's a lot of cameos in the movie. I'm gonna put this to you guys. I'll say mine, but I'll put this to you guys. Who's your favorite cameo in the movie?
Easily Blade's entrance into the film. Obviously, as a Henry Cavill fan, oh my god, I was losing my mind though. I was like, wait, hold on, it wouldn't be. He turned around, I was like,
the cavalry is home was the line.
I'm sorry, the coldest entrance was Blade's entrance. That was
when Blade walked into that place, hands down, it's my favorite cameo because when Blade walked into the place, I was like, no way, definitely
come
not.
On.
What? Like, you know, I ain't gonna go deep into it, but let's just say there was bad blood between Blade and Wesley Snipes and the MCU because he always wanted to be Blade. And let's say that there was rumors that there was a lot of bad blood between Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes as well on the set of Blade Trinity, the third movie. So to see Wesley Snipes pop up in this movie, an MCU movie and a Ryan Reynolds movie, like burying the hatchet with both these people just so that he can like help carry on the legacy that is Blade. Because I'm not gonna lie, like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, Wesley Snipes is Blade, bruv. Yeah. He even done the line in it. He's like, there's only ever been one Blade and there'll only ever be one Blade. And you know what? He might be right. Hands down favorite cameo. Yeah, I know why you picked that, Auntie. I knew that was gonna be. What about you, Obsidian?
Blade walked in with so much aura. Like the room went a little colder when this man walked through that room. He is by far my favorite cameo, but Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, that cracked me up. That was so much.
That was
okay. Yeah. So, okay, like I've got so much to say on this, movie. So I'm gonna like keep it brief because I know you asked me a question, so I'm gonna try and keep it as brief as possible. But
All right, go on.
the music choice in the films, I really enjoyed the music. It was very Deadpool-esque, where it's like the most like I was getting
Madonna.
Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. That kind of like there's like a certain like the music like choices was very like specific and particular, and it really like cemented the kind of like the gag of what Deadpool is. The acting was stellar. There were funny bits, and I liked the fact that Hugh Jackman wasn't like funny. He was like serious, but like he was very broken. And it's like, and then him bouncing off Ryan Reynolds, like the chemistry there was like top notch. You could definitely tell that, you know, the funniness, him being serious was in and of itself funny. That's where the humor came in. The action scenes were good. A little bit lackluster when it came to the Wolverine versus Deadpool when they first entered the wasteland. I wanted to be something longer, but I did like the montage of like the different Wolverines.
I feel like that's why we got 2 fights with
Yes.
them. We got that one in the wasteland, and then we got the one of them in the car. Like,
yes, exactly. So seeing Gambit and being played by Channing Tatum, that was a big fan request. People wanted it, and I love how like his voice, like you just couldn't understand him. That made me crack up.
I love it, bro. I can't believe. You know what I love when they pull off these things that like that Channing Tatum Gambit movie never made it. You know, it never made it out of development hell and in the production, but to actually see him finally get his shot and do that character on screen is great. Like, and that's what these kind of movies are about, you know.
So, and obviously seeing X-23 return, that was also really, really nice. I like the fact that they laid Logan to rest. Like, I like the fact that this is a very different Wolverine than to our Wolverine that we grew up with. So I really like that particular distinction. I think I didn't know what I was expecting from this movie. That's why I probably enjoy it more than I thought if I had like a certain like preconception to what this movie was, because I didn't know where they were going. I didn't know. My only gripe was that the main villain was Cassandra Nova. She didn't have as much presence as I'd wanted her to. So I think that she should have been like, if she was a big bad, she should have been like the looming threat all the time. It was paradox, but that's just like a story pet peeve of mine rather than like a dig at the movie. Like you can have this the villain done in different ways. I wouldn't have done it that way. I say it like I'm a movie director, like I'm bloody Christopher Nolan or Spike Lee, but I wouldn't have done it like that. I would have made her like, because she's an Omega level mutant, so she's like a massive threat.
That is one of the main issues that I've heard from a lot of people, that they didn't feel the story in itself in this movie was more a mechanism to get Deadpool and Wolverine from point A to B and to do all these things, rather than being an actual, whereas the other movies are more about Deadpool, the character, his heart, his connections, you know. Exactly. This one was very much about like him trying to, you know, save his world and friends and all of that, and being bigger than himself. But it was more, a transport. The story was more a transport mechanism.
Yes. There wasn't enough. I want to say stakes. The stakes were glossed over too quickly. That's the best way I can describe it. Yeah. Like the stakes were glossed over too quickly. Like normally, like a lot of Marvel movies, they cement what the stakes are if the heroes do it wrong.
That's why it was trying to accomplish so much. Like again, he did just pull the whole Fox universe through that movie.
True.
And then take it to the MCU. So that's why it had to be like a transport mechanism to get him from point A to B. That's why I can like say, all right, we'll take a bit of a 60-40 split on that character development, you know. No,
I really enjoyed it. Sorry,
I did enjoy it. Yeah,
I enjoyed it because of
that was gonna be my next question. What did you guys like about the movie the most? Obsidian Fury, I go to you because I know you have a whole list prepared.
Oh, I enjoyed the Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, their chemistry. They were the top tier. They crack me up. Like both of them just in the same room together. They never fail to make me laugh. I also like that this was, I might get flack for this, but I think that this movie was very much a love letter to 20th Century Fox. Even though we clown it all the time, it was very much seeing all those people, like it really like struck a chord in me. Like, oh, even though like we like whine about these movies were very much a part of us growing up, like the X-Men franchise.
We wouldn't be here now without them. Like.
Exactly. A lot of these characters, even though their movies probably weren't that great, a lot of them set the stage for the MCU to have like a well-established like framework. So like people say that, oh, it was Iron Man 1. I'm like, whoa, let's talk about Blade. Let's talk about Daredevil with Ben Affleck. Let's talk about X-Men, and let's talk about Fantastic Four. Let's talk about all these other franchises that were kind of like laid to the wayside when MCU came from, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. A lot of these like kept the comic book money strong. I would say the film comic book money very strong until the MCU was able to establish itself and then have a vision for what it wanted. So,
you know, like I'm sure people know this story, but like Marvel had no money, right? And then they kind of sold joint projected on an IP of theirs, Blade, and made a movie with Wesley Snipes called Blade. And from that, they were able to piggyback the money that they made of that success into making other cinematic movies. The next one being the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogies with Tobey Maguire. And then obviously from there, now we have the MCU, like, you know, but it is those things like when Wesley started saying he's been Blade and this is why he reps it till this day is because of things like that. Like if that movie didn't come out then and they didn't make that play, we wouldn't be here. And like you can say what you want about the whole like Black Leather Matrix vibes of all these like old kind of movies, legacy movies, shall we call them. But without it, yeah, we really wouldn't be here. And it's great to see it.
It's interesting because I know that Wesley Snipes wanted to have like, there was a load of comic books movies that he wanted to do, like Spawn, a lot of the, what's it called? What's that comic book studio that got acquired by, is it Milestone Studios? Is it Milestone Comics?
Yeah, what, Static Shock?
Yeah, he wanted to do like, those comic books, like Wesley Snipes wanted to do those kind of comic book stories in like on for the big screen because he felt like there wasn't enough representation. And then Marvel kind of cut him. That's why there was so much bad blood in Blade Trinity. So I can understand. So, but I'm glad that one, he buried the hatchet with Ryan Reynolds personally, and two, like I want to make sure that your boy gets his residuals because he definitely he is entitled to it, I should say. So,
you know what you just made me think about? So when Blade comes onto the screen, Deadpool goes to him, I thought you said you were retired. And at the beginning of the movie, Deadpool says, ain't nothing gonna make you come out of retirement quicker than a big bag of Marvel cash.
So that's what I was looking forward to this movie. I'm gonna dissect it so neatly because there's so many Easter eggs I probably missed that are like, this probably went over my head because I was probably like fanning over something else. So I can't wait to like get the like.
I definitely need to go watch it again because I was in awe of everything that was happening that I didn't take in Easter eggs. You know, I did watch the Easter egg video. If you don't know, guys, there's Eric Voss, shout out, New Rockstars. They've been doing the thing from day when it comes to Easter egg breakdowns. And that one was like an hour something long. It was a movie in itself because there's so many Easter eggs in that movie.
Trust me. So yeah, I just getting to see all of them on the screen or like is sorry, Anzi, do you want to not chime in?
In terms of what I enjoyed, I wish Wolverine had gotten more screen time.
Oh my lord. She was like,
He said, we'll treat you way better than the dicks down the street.
So funny. There was a lot of one-liners. And I did like, because I love, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Wolverine, Logan. And I really, really like that he was still serious because Deadpool, to be alongside someone who jokes all the time, like can't take anyone seriously. To be someone very serious and putting them together, I was like, how's this going to work? But I think they did that very well, where he didn't start joking too, you know. And I thought that would not have worked for his character.
Did he ever crack a smile?
I think he did crack a smile.
Yeah,
maybe
I think he
right
cracked
at the end.
Yeah.
Or like he smiled when like he had stabbed Deadpool. Like
And the fact that he got to face so many Deadpools, you know, when they had that massive like Deadpool versus
the brawl, yeah.
Right. So I thought I was really glad for that because I like Wolverine's character and I'm glad he didn't have to change to be in this Deadpool film. Yeah, he was exactly the same as he always is. And so I really, really enjoyed that. And good to see, even though I was just like, didn't want Hugh Jackman to come back as Wolverine, which is why I'm so glad that he's still on business and stipulated that the Logan was going to be his
Canon.
last film,
Yeah.
and it was going to be that Wolverine's last one, and they still stuck true to that. So you know when you see like Deadpool digging him up, I'm like, oh wait, what? But he is actually still dead, and he has to get another.
How are we gonna do this while respecting Logan's memory?
Yeah,
We're
I thought that was perfect that they got a different Wolverine, because that means the ending of Logan was actually the ending of that.
And
That's-
with a different Wolverine, we get the iconic blue and yellow suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, listen, when he put that mask on,
Oh no.
final battle, bruv, I was gassed. I said, no way. Honestly, the whole movie, I was like, no way this guy has had the mask on as a hood just undone this whole time. Like I'd never considered that he had a mask this whole time.
Yep. It was good. It was very good. And okay, so that's our, like, I don't know how much time we have.
A little bit more
but
time.
that was our
What we loved about it.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to the movie?
I was just gonna say, other than Prime Deadpool, who was your favorite Deadpool?
Oh, Paul is it? There was nice Paul, there was Dog Paul, there was Poor Paul. Oh, I'll say that 10 times.
Samurai Deadpool was looking really cool. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but his outfit was
the
wicked.
Samurai Deadpool one was
Yeah.
Samurai Deadpool, surely.
Samurai Deadpool was good. I think I didn't get enough of them, like, to get to glean their characters.
definitely needed more of Lady Pool.
Brother, we did.
You guys can't talk to me about cavalry, yeah? Because you guys want Lady Pool, I want more cavalry.
Every moment they were on screen.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, okay, we've spoken about. I don't know how much time we have, because I know we've wasted quite a bit. So that was the Deadpool. So so fans, if you're listening, I say fans, MG Squad, if you're listening, if you want to know more about this, we'll have to do this longer. But I do know that during the weekend, Comic Con San Diego, they've released very, very big announcements. Obviously, the biggest announcement of all was the new lineup for the Avengers movies, and one of them is called Avengers Doomsday, and they have brought back a familiar face to play Victor Von Doom, known as, and this actor is Robert Downey Jr. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it, because people will be surprised about the kind of thoughts that I have on this. So I want to go to Anzi, you first. What do you think?
You already know my thoughts on this. I think that is, I don't know, it feels like a very cheap, desperate ploy to keep MCU relevant. They didn't need to do this. RDJ was Iron Man, let that man rest, and that is it. They should have cast. Is there nobody else in Hollywood that they can cast? Like, hello? Really, I think that we should have just stuck with the Kang story. And if you really didn't want Jonathan Majors back, which I think he should have been forgiven, but that's another story, you could have easily recast, and we should have stuck to the Kang story.
OJ Tucker, what about you?
I'm gonna say let him cook. Like straight up, yeah. Marvel, when they had Robert Downey Jr. and they had like, I mean, like, this is peak Marvel right now. They brought the old squad back together to do this thing one last time, just like Wolverine. Let them cook, because I know there's been some castings for characters and we've seen stuff and always been like, nah, this ain't it. Only for it to actually be it. The way the multiverse and all of this stuff is going, I can see why there might be a Tony Stark variant that ends up being Doctor Doom. In fact, I'm 100% sure that this is a comic book storyline in which there is the Tony Stark variant who is Doctor Doom. Like, they never do this stuff out of thin air. Like, it's in the book.
Yeah. No, I agree. Okay, no, sorry. I want to make you finish.
Yeah, no, but I'm just going to say, let him cook. If he's down to come back and do it, fine. But what I will say is the way he came out onto the stage was very Iron Man. He's going to need to change that.
Exactly. This is just Iron Man putting on a freaking mask.
But
Iron Man reskinned. That's what it is.
I know Robert Downey Jr. acts like he's got chops, like he can act. So I know he's just feeling the vibe. He's back in his MCU bag. He's doing it instinctively. He's putting on a Tony Stark. but he's gonna tune it out, and I expect him to be like his villain. He's been such a good guy character for so many years.
Has he?
What would his villain look like?
Have you not
Okay.
seen thingy? What's that film with
Oppenheimer.
huh?
Oppenheimer?
Yeah, Oppenheimer. But I think one of the first films that RDJ was a villain in, which was brilliantly done, which was alongside Wesley Snipes, was The Fugitive.
Yeah, with Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah.
He was a wicked villain in that thing, and very sly and like clever, and was fooling everyone into thinking he was actually a goodie. So in terms of his acting, I there's no doubt about his acting. This is not about his acting.
Like,
He's got acting, Oscar winning. He can act. That was never in doubt. It's the fact that they're still allowing Iron Man, because this man is Iron Man, to do Doctor Doom. They should have just somebody else should have acted in this.
Yes.
Goodness sakes.
That's okay. That's where I jump in, because that is what I would want. I didn't want the MC, like the most recent Victor Von Doom incarnations have been so whack, right? That it's like it's so frustrating because this man is literally him. Victor Von Doom is him. Okay, of all the villains in the Marvel like universe, he's one of my favorites because this man, he stands on business. This is a cold man who has his weakness is his arrogance, and the way you have to play that, like in the comic books, where he has like he has the crispiest one-liners in the comic books. So that's what I want. I want the same standard and polish that was applied to Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man, with Chris Evans with Captain America, Chris Hemsworth with Thor. That's what I want for Victor Von Doom. That same kind of polish. This doesn't feel like the same kind of polish. It feels like Anzi said, Iron Man reskinned. That's what it feels like. So
no, I hear you. But I also say let him cook. Like, trust me, you will get that polish, yeah. And also think of it like this, yeah. The connotations of them battling this threat, he's gonna be masked up from jump, yeah. And then when they finally look at it, and Tom Holland and everyone there is like, oh, that's Tony, and they're gonna try reason with Doom. They are gonna try reason with Doom because they're seeing Tony, but this is Doom, and it's not gonna be till like Endgame that they're gonna realize, yeah, this ain't Tony, bro. Like,
I really hope so, because for me, I want if it's like if he's like an Avengers level threat where he only shows up during maybe the Secret Wars and Doomsday, then yeah, if that's just two films,
he's gonna do Secret Wars, like
yeah.
like
so if that's so. It's like you said, let them cook. Let's see where they're going with this. But personally, I think it should have been a fresh face. Personally, I think it should have been like maybe an upcoming actor, someone who hasn't as well established as RDJ, because RDJ, he's got like the pick of the litter when it comes to the acting gigs, whereas someone who's like maybe fresh out, or not fresh out, but someone who's maybe not as like well known, who could like really sink their teeth into this role, like how Robert Downey Jr. did it for Iron Man, and really elevate this, the Victor Von Doom character, rather than having like, because they're gonna have to explain it in the MCU why RDJ is now playing Victor Von Doom. And if it's some time variant, that's gonna annoy me, because I just need
100% a time variant, bro.
I just need Victor Von Doom done right. That's all I want. I just want him done right. I want the arrogant person who in the comic books is canon that this man has conquered the world and said, nah, this ain't for me. It's canon. Do you know how crazy that is for a villain to have that kind of flex? So that's what I want to see from Victor Von Doom. I want to see the arrogant. I want to see how like the fight between them and the Avengers has to be like Thanos level, where it has to be close. It has to be like this man is pushing you to your limits. That's what I want from this. From the casting, I'm not looking as optimistic. That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, like you said, let him cook. Let's see how it shakes out. And I think I'm glad they've got RDJ back, because this man is 75 million. That was Endgame. That was his asking price. So I'm on a hope that the writers are also getting like, make sure the writers are getting paid, make sure the production people are getting paid, make sure everybody's getting paid when it comes to this, because I'll be damned if they're gonna make RDJ Victor Von Doom and they're gonna give him a cack script. That will annoy me. That will frustrate me. That will make me riot. So I want to make sure everybody's being paid. We've got the highest top tier talents, making sure that they're writing, and they're making sure it's the same kind of.
Don't hire the Game of Thrones writers then. Let them not be anywhere near this script.
Is that who's right? No, because I thought it was.
Goddamn.
I thought it was the Russo brothers that are back directing. So
I hope so, because
no, it's
the writing needs to
confirmed.
be on board, yeah? Because
Yeah.
I feel like with all these big names being thrown around, where's the plot?
Exactly. That's what I want. And I don't want like what they've been doing where it's like individual plots. There's not really like, I want cohesion. I want an overarching villain. I want that. I want Infinity War ×2. That's what I want. It doesn't have to be long. And I'm saying every single movie, but every single MCU movie now has to be gearing towards that, if that makes sense. I want there to be like a foundational plan that only Kevin Feige is aware of. Okay. He's deleted all blueprints and he's downloaded it into his head. Only he knows. That's what I want.
I mean, probably that's what you're about to get.
I hope so, because the MCU, we've hit turbulent times recently. You know, we've had a couple wins here and there, but now they have to lock in. They have to get back on the horse.
You know, when Deadpool's like to the other Deadpools, can we just stop with this multiverse? It's just a miss after miss after miss.
That's what I'm saying, and he's right. And he's right. So Infinity War was when like there was an overarching narrative. That's when it was like that was peak MCU cinema. So now that if they're bringing back RDJ and they're paying 75 million, they better get it right. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. I think it'll be alright. You know, now Loki is the reason for everything. Loki's Kevin Feige of like the MCU because he's there holding it all together.
Yeah.
So like, you know, they say like the reason Deadpool and Wolverine survived at the end is because Loki has a plan for them. That's
Interesting.
I really like that I actually wanted I was waiting for the cameo of Loki actually. I was thinking about I was just like, is Loki gonna have a cameo? Because that ending of season 2 Loki was so good. Like I feel like it's not getting praised enough because my goodness. Yeah, the ending of season 2 Loki, what he did, and that whole scene that was just glorious purpose, you know, like
Deadpool and Wolverine had a great glorious purpose in that movie, but Loki's glorious purpose is the reason they're there. That's that. That's how it rolls, you know. Hunter B15 with Peter though, she said, "You look good in that suit."
I thought that was so funny. I thought they were gonna start making out right there. I was like, can you please relax? It was so
what's going on here. Yeah,
well.
that was
Peter ends up in Loki season 3. That's it. I'm done.
I think we actually did very good in terms of timing, to be quite honest with you, with all our thoughts and everything like that. But I want you guys to give final ratings out of 10. OJ Taku, what would you give Deadpool versus the Wolverine?
Out of 10. Ooh, 9. Yeah, 9. 9.
9. Goddamn, what?
I mean, what? Like, as
Infinity War Endgame, those are set 10s. You're giving Deadpool 3.
I mean, yeah.
9.
No, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion, isn't it?
Alright, like 8.5. You know what I mean? Then fine. Like, it's high. You know, it's definitely way better than like some of the other ones I went to cinema to watch recently. And it being the movie I wanted to see this year, it didn't disappoint. It's, you know, it said what it was on the tin. It delivered in my respect. It delivered, and I'm like, yeah, boom. For what it's also opened the doors for, I feel like it's fully delivered. Not only on giving me the show there and then, but leaving me with so many other questions and insights into what's going to happen next with the MCU. That I think in terms of an MCU movie, it's up there, bro. 8.59, like.
Well, okay. Well, you are a Deadpool stan, so take that with a pinch of salt.
True.
Obsidian Fury, what do you rate it out of 10?
I would say a solid 7.5. I think it would have gotten lower if I knew the storyline going in, or if I knew what was going to happen. But because of like I didn't know where they were going, I didn't know like how they're going to interact with each other. I was actually like my base was low. It was on the ground because Marvel movies recently have been disappointing me. So I was like, this showed me that there's maybe the magic is still there in the genie lamp. The genie was sleeping for a little bit, but he's still there. So it gets a solid 7.5. This is something that, and because of the amount of Easter eggs, it's definitely rewatchable, where I get to sit down and maybe experience it all over again. The jokes might become a little bit outdated down the road, but otherwise, solid 7.5.
I will say though, keep in mind that this isn't just a Marvel movie. It's a Deadpool movie first and a Marvel movie second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of that like magic in a bottle you were speaking of, I think, comes from like how Ryan Reynolds runs his ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what happens when a fan is also like when you're an actor, but you're also a fan of it. Like I was telling the others, Obsidian Fury and Agent, about the fact that how good The Witcher is, because Henry Cavill's also a fan. So I feel like when a fan becomes an actor on something, it elevates the experience, because Ryan Reynolds is also a fan of Deadpool, and so he knows the source material and all that sort of stuff, and you can see it. You can see it when you watch those things, and it's just like, this is brilliant.
True. Okay, so being devil's advocate, just quickly, is it their job to be fans of the thing?
Definitely not their job. But I feel like it adds that extra bit of passion, and especially if sometimes the writers aren't always trying to stick to the source material.
True.
I think there was a bit too much fan service in this movie in terms of it, but I did think that they did very well. There was a lot of pressure, especially like the stakes were very high. Like this was Hugh Jackman coming back after like never again. Like literally was standing on busy. He was saying never again. So I think that they did well in terms of that. Cause I want to give it a 6 to 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I know I'm quite like hard, but I did enjoy this film. I think they could have shaved off 20 minutes. Not gonna lie.
Whoa, I'm saying where's the
shaved off
Snyder
20
cut,
solid
bro?
minutes.
You talking about shaving off 20 minutes? I said, where's the extras? I know there's scenes I ain't seen, and I want to see them. So, like, send me my director's cut now, bro.
The bloopers would be mad in this film.
But you guys are. Although that's something. That's how I feel when I'm a stan of something. I could watch 10 hours of a Superman or Batman film, like 10 solid hours. So I think they did. They delivered on what they promised with this film. Like they fulfilled that 100%. And obviously the cameos were amazing and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think they did very well in this, and it was a very good Deadpool film as well. Breaking that.
What did you say? The proposal.
But yeah, I think that's everything. We did quite well on timing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have not seen this film, I don't know, you had no business being here. If you have, let us know what your thoughts on it as well is, and what you think is next up for the MCU. There's a lot up in the air. They've announced a lot of things at San Diego Comic-Con, so let us know your thoughts in the comments. And thank you guys for being here with me. I was here with OG Taku.
Keep it OG, peeps.
And Obsidian Fury.
In a bit, MG Squad.
And it was your hostess with the mostest, Creatively Anzi. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Melanin Gamers Podcast. See you guys all later. Bye.